Good morning, Pioneer. It's been a long time since I've seen a lot of you. You may notice this beautiful, beautiful mustache I'm growing. You know, that's exactly what Kenzie and Gigi said when they saw this for the first time. They said, "Wow, Mr. Stanowitz, I got to tell him, that's a beautiful mustache." But onward we go. We are doing 16.3 patterns, more patterns and graphing. If you haven't caught the YouTube channel before this, 16.1 and 16.2 have been covered. If you can get caught up by Wednesday, that would be great. Don't worry if you fall behind a little bit right now, it'll all be good. So 16.3 more patterns and graphing. These are super simple word problems. There is nothing difficult here. This is going to be really easy. Should take me about probably 8 to 10 minutes to explain, and then you'll be off on your homework. All right, so how do you show number relationships on a graph? Ann and Bill each earn the amount shown each week. $1, $2, $3. They each earn $3. Ann starts with no money, but Bill starts with 5. How much will Bill have when Ann has 30? Now, this sounds like it is really, really, really difficult, but if you make a T-chart, such as right here, this gets really, really simple. The T-chart, in this example, it's going left to right. Normally the T-chart goes up and down. It doesn't matter. So if you recall, Ann starts with a big fat nothing, and every week she's adding $3 to her stash. So at the end of week 1, she has $3. You add $3 to that, you get 6. You add $3 to that, you get 9. Add $3, add $3, and you get 15. Bill didn't start at 0. He started at 5. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Super simple. Okay. So now they want you to then graph it. You're going to take this T-chart. This is going to be your X coordinate. This is going to be your Y coordinate. So your first thing that you need to graph is 0, 5. Then we're going to graph 3, 8, and then we're going to graph 6, 11, and so on. But when we look at the graph, they don't count by ones. They are counting by 5s. So let's just do some really simple math here. If this is 0, and if I go 2 boxes over and it ends up being 5, that means each box is worth how much? Each box is worth 2.5. Is it the same thing going up? Because sometimes they will be different. In this case, yes, it is the same. They jump 2 boxes and it's worth 5. Half of 5 is 2.5. So every time you jump a box, you're going up 2.5. So again, our first coordinate is 0, 5. So I drive the fire truck to the first number, 0, and then I put the ladder up to the second number, 5, and there's my first point. The second point is 3, 8. Drive to 3. Well, if this is 2.5, it's going to be just after that blue line. And then I got to go up to 8. So I know that this is 5. Add 2.5, that's going to be 7.5. Go just a teensy bit more, and that's going to be 3, 8 right there on that dot. Our next coordinate is 6, 11. I go over to 6, just beyond 5, go up to 11, which is just beyond the 10 right here, and I put in this dot. And when you do these, you should always get a straight line. In 5th grade, they're only going to give you problems that give you a straight line. In 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, they're going to give you curves, they're going to give you circles, they're going to give you ellipses, they're going to give you all this stuff. It just gets a little bit more complicated, but if you learn each step, it's still really simple. So let's do one where it's more fill in the blank instead of them outright giving us the answer. Complete the table at the right and graph the data using sunflower for the x-axis and corn for the y-axis. Okay, so here is our plan. Here's our chart. They filled in some of it. What is going on? Well, the sunflower is pretty easy. It starts at 10, goes to 15, goes to 20. Hey, those are counting by 5. So 20 plus 5 is 25. 25 plus 5 is 30. 35, 40, 45. That checks out. Corn, if we look at the first bit, it's a little on the difficult side. You know what? I messed up the other one. We'll go back in a second. They start at 2, then they skip 1, then they're at 10, then they skip 1, and then you get 3 numbers in a row. Always go to where they give you the numbers in a row. It's way easier to figure out what is happening. Going from 18 to 22 to 26, well, they must be adding 4. 18 plus 4 is 22. 22 plus 4 is 26. Now you know what the rule is. You can find your missing numbers. 2 plus 4, this would be 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. And this last box must be 30. Yes, that is correct. I said I messed up the last one. We started the graph. We need to finish answering the original question. The original question was, how much will Bill have when Ann has $30? So the graph, this kills me when I talk to 7th and 8th graders and I say, how can you guys spend all that time graphing? You're going to do this a ton in 7th and 8th grade. And then just go, because we have to. The reason you're making the graph, it is a picture of all the possible answers. When Ann has $10, I follow that up and I can see that Bill will have somewhere around $15. So what they want to know is what happens when Ann has 30. So here's Ann. I'm going to go to the $30 for Ann. I'm going to follow that light blue line up until I meet the dark blue line. And then I'm going to follow the light blue line at the same spot over to the left. And it tells me, boom, Bill's going to have $35. That is the answer to our problem. And coincidentally, that is the number one mistake. They give you the problem, you make the T-chart, you make the graph, and then you say, yippee, I'm done. But no, you have to answer their final question. Otherwise, you're going to lose at least half of your points. All right, so back to this one with the sunflower and the corn. This was jumping up by 5. Corn was jumping up by 6. Sorry, corn was jumping up by 4. Sunflowers were going over by 5. It says, describe the relationship between sunflower and corn height. Okay, well, every single week, the sunflower is going to grow 1 more inch than the corn because this one's growing at 4, and this one's growing at 5. So it's going to get more and more spread apart as you keep doing this little experiment. Easy cheesy, easy cheesy. Number 8. Sue has read 5 books. Joe has read 8 books. If Sue reads 2 more books a day and Joe reads 1 more book a day, how many books will Sue have read when Joe has read 15 books? Kind of makes your head hurt if you are not looking at the chart. With the chart, it gets really simple. So Sue, we're going to add 2 every time. Joe, we're going to add 1 every time. So here's Sue. She started at 5, add 2 is 9, add 2 is 11, add 2 is 13, add 2 is 15. Joe, we're always going to add 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then if you want to graph it, Sue's going to be your X where you drive to the fire. Joe's going to be your Y where you put the ladder up. Super simple. That is actually all you have to do. Your workbook pages are just like this. There is one thing different on the workbook page that always confuses kids. I don't have the workbook page. I got to show you this page, which has all the answers, but just ignore that for right now. So one thing they do differently is they call them rules. So instead of a stupid story like Ann saves $3 and Joe saves $4 each week, they're just going to tell you rule 1. Or rule for y1, add 3 to the x value. Okay, so if x value is 1, you add 3, you get 4. X value is 2, when you add 3, you get 5. X value is 3, when you add 3, you get 6. So super simple, right? Second thing, rule for y2. So this column is y2. Add 6 to the x value. So the x was 1. When I add 6 to it, I get 7. So what confuses kids is they then say, okay, well, when I do the XY chart, how do I make an XYY chart? Well, you can't make an XYY chart. What you're going to do is you're going to pretend that this X part disappears. If you get a Y1 and a Y2, your Y1 is just going to become your X. Your Y2 is going to become your Y. So the first thing you're going to graph is 4, 7. Then you're going to graph 5, 8, then you're going to graph 6, 9, and so on and so forth, and then you'll be done. If they ever have you make your own graph, which they do today, but they're not giving you the trick. Let's go back to the one in the book. So this problem where they're earning $3 each week and they add them all up. If they ask you to make the graph as well, kids will always put this in. They'll always put their X's in. They'll show me the answer. They'll probably put the numbers in. What they always forget and what you'll get dinged for is you have to label what is 5, 10, 15, 20 going up the side here? Oh, that's Bill's earnings or Bill's money. And what's 0, 5, 10, 15, 20? Is this inches? Is it feet? Spaceships? What is this? Oh, it's Ann's earnings. So you got to put that in right there. Alrighty, with that, you guys are good to go. Go ahead and pause the video because I'm going to show you all the answers when you're done in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Go ahead and pause that and you can compare your answers to there. And then go ahead and pause this because that is the answers for your practice page. Simple dimple. Alrighty, I will see you guys later.